It's all kicking off on social media over Ricky Gervais and his latest stand-up show, Armageddon, on Netflix. And ironically, the woke left comedy establishment, and they are the establishment, by the way, because if you don't do comedy their way, then they'll get rid of you, they will ostracize you, and they will joke about your fall from grace. But anyway, these out-of-touch, metropolitan elite, multimillionaire comedians who live in London, they're all gagging up on Ricky Gervais because he jokes about things they don't find funny. Even Frankie Boyle, for heaven's sake. This man is currently doing the rounds on social media and wherever people will listen, slagging off Ricky Gervais for being too edgy. I mean, this is the bloke during one of his stand-up routines years ago, when he was actually funny, about a blind black kid raping his own mother, or Jordan, or Katie Price. And let's not forget about the infamous Michael Jackson's Children's Hospital. I mean, for me, that's hilarious, but comedy is subjective. But these idiot comedians who are currently trying their best to beat down Ricky Gervais, it's just hypocrisy, and I think it's jealousy as well, because the guy now has 3 of his stand-up shows in the top 3 streaming on Netflix. How many of them can say they've done that? Now, for some reason, they're wheeling out James Acaster out to counter Ricky Gervais. Now, I've had a debate with Mrs. 49 over James Acaster. She thinks he's funny, but I think he's about as funny as an orphanage on fire. You've got Frankie Boyle, who's now reinvented himself as some posh man from Edinburgh, and James Acaster, who pretends he's got autism when he hasn't. And he also did a skit where he slagged off Ricky Gervais a few years ago, but I watched it and there's no punchline. He just repeats a line over and over again, and the skit is called Too Edgy For You. Well, Ricky Gervais is clearly too edgy for them. I mean, if there's one group of people who I'd have thought would have gotten along, it would be comedians. They all did back in the day. I remember growing up in the 80s and 90s, and you didn't hear of comedians slagging each other off. And probably the 2 edgiest in my time were Bernard Manning and Roy Chubby Brown, and they were edgy. But the difference being, back then they were edgy and clever. And you never heard of other comics slagging those 2 off. Unless they did in private, of course, which means they were professional. Unlike these days when you can't joke about minorities and illegal migrants and anything else that the left have declared themselves as social justice warriors to defend, then, what else can I say? And that's that. I'm Paz49. Thank you for listening, and until the next time, have a great day. And Roger Trout.